what's it like? I was actually there in attendance in Cleveland for Coe's first career NFL touchdown, which was awesome. And,
Awesome.
It was a great game. You could hear me on camera. I was just screaming, "Say it ain't so, Coe! Say it ain't so!" Sadly, from there, the game kind of went off the rails a little. That was the last high moment of that game, but it was a great game. Overtime loss, fun time.
Yeah.
But how was that moment for you? Seeing the first, whether it was on TV, in person, wherever you were, seeing his first NFL touchdown. How was that?
Well, dude, I mean, we were at home because it was a away game. We don't travel to a lot of the away games because we can get into that later. But, to watch that and to think I wished I was there live. So to have your video was so cool. And just man, this is so cool. I mean, that was so cool for us. Catching it from Tom Brady, right? Like he's got the ball yet. I mean, first NFL touchdown means a lot, right? I mean, as a dad, that's just so cool to see. And it was fun to watch. And, it didn't have the outcome we wanted, but still the same. What a memory! What a memory to have, right? So,
and honestly,
cool.
those. One of the best guests ever, the Buccateers in the house tonight. You guys hear him on Tampa radio all the time. He's one of the best in the business. My favorite personal in the business. That's why I'm elated tonight. Growing up in the Chicago area, you're used to sports radio. That's what gets me through the day. So this man does help get me through the day, I will say, with the Pat and Aaron show at work. Nothing like it. So it's incredible. It looks like we got Stunna bumbling in. I'm Tampa Tones. We are joined by lead goon tonight, host of the Pat and Aaron show of WDAE, Pat Donovan. And it sounds like Stunna is bumbling a little bit. Going to put him on mute for a second until that gets a little clear. But we're joined by Pat Donovan.
It looks like Stunna's hanging out with Cheech and Chong in a car with the windows up or something over there.
It does look like you got a little...
No, my camera's broke.
And he was trying to pull me in big time. And then I was like, nothing's happened with Indianapolis yet. Like, I really want to give Indy a chance. And then also I talked to Cody Bruton, once he took it over Rich McCann, I'm still like, but look, I was like, y'all just give me the opportunity to explore free agency, see what's going on, and then kind of make us do it.
All right, everyone, you are tuned into the Buccateers with wide receiver Kalen Geiger, and we are about to have a great pod. This is the Buccateers. You're tapped in, and here we go. Howdy ho, howdy hey, how the hell is everybody? Welcome back into the Buccateers podcast, Saturday Showdown, weekend of football kickoff show. We got a huge college football slate. We got a huge NFL slate, 2 huge Monday night games. Oh boy, you can tell we are entering the Halloween fall time. Important football on our hands, and football for 49 straight days. We're right in the middle of it. It's such a great time to be alive. The great holiday season right around the corner with Halloween kicking off. Wedding season. Got my brother Bonomo's wedding tonight. Shout out to my friend, great friend of mine. Proud to see you getting married tonight, buddy. Can't wait to celebrate you and your wife. Gonna be beautiful. And then I got a wedding next week out in California. I'll actually be watching some Buccaneer ball on the West Coast. Speaking of West Coast, our guy Richard joining us from the West Coast per usual, saying good morning, my brothers. Y'all enjoy that Thursday night Senior Citizens Bowl. J-Lo, I'll let you handle that first. Good morning, my friend. Although you're not a senior citizen, I'll enjoy your input on Flacco Rodgers round one of this matchup, we'll say.
Round one, fight. No, for the most part, yeah, that was pretty wild ending on that one, when it came to the Flacco versus Aaron Rodgers game. But it was enjoyable. I mean, I'll take it, And plus, all these college football games going on throughout the week. I mean, so many activities. And you said wedding season. Bro, I didn't know we're in Wedding Crashers. Man, where's my invite, dog?
Well, you know how during football. Well, I'll
Yeah,
save that. I'll save that rant for
for
another
another
day
talk.
about football season weddings. But nonetheless, what can you do? I got two
No.
back to back. I just wish the Bucs week played out like the Lions did, and I'd be sitting pretty because Penn State's on a bye next week, and then the Bucs would have been on a bye. But instead, the NFL schedule makers gave Detroit the bye week, and they're like, Tampa, you could go on short rest to a rival in New Orleans. So there you go. Thank you, schedule makers. No, thank you. That is Richard. Oh, and by the way, was Ohtani's perform? Yes, absolutely, no doubt about it. Last night was not only the best performance in playoff history in baseball, J-Lo. I think last night was the best performance in playoff sports history. Ohtani, 3 home runs. Ohtani, 6 scoreless innings. Ohtani, 10 strikeouts.
Oh, the dude's the best player alive right now in baseball. The dude's just a stud, you know. 'Cause I know some people were questioning him, before the game yesterday about what's going on with him, but he went out there and he's like, hold my beer, and he went out there and just does what he does best, just perform.
That's the beautiful thing about Ohtani. Everybody's like, I don't see it in this guy. Watch one game, next thing you know, it's like, okay, he did what players do in a month in one game. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. He's like, sit down, peeps.
I love Ohtani. I'm not going to be afraid to say, J-Lo, that besides the Cubs and Rays, he's my favorite baseball player. That's a non-Cub or Ray. I'm not afraid to admit that. I love the guy.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Even though I hate seeing the Dodgers win, but at the same time, they spend the money and they get the best player in baseball.
And speaking of best player, we have the best player in football right now. That is one Baker Mayfield, number 6. And J-Lo, it was kind of cool. Many people know I am located primarily, we'll go with primarily as I'm in Tampa a lot, but I'm primarily in the Chicagoland area. And last night, my fiance and I, we had a little fall night going to get pumpkins at Walmart. Next thing you know, a Baker Mayfield Buccaneers jersey pops up out of the woodworks. And I'm like, wow, Baker is hitting the scene here, J-Lo. This is something that really Bucs fans only ever see Brady jerseys in this neck of the woods, and we all know that those are not even really Bucs fans, but seeing Baker Mayfield jerseys in Chicago, it's like I'm a little bricked up about that. Let's go, everybody. We're making a movement. Join the Bake Show now or stay over there.
No, couldn't agree more. I mean, Baker's playing MVP level. I mean, it's obviously showing that he's starting to get fans all in any kind of state you can see. I mean, the scene in Chicago, that's awesome. That means that, he's getting some favoritism finally, because they always favor the other quarterbacks, whatever. But now it's all about Baker Mayfield right now, if you ask me. I mean, yeah, Patrick Mahomes, whatever. But at the same time, Baker is front runner for MVP that we all agree upon. I mean, is he not?
He is, and it's funny you kind of mentioned the Baker Muse just followed me on Twitter. You know the account Baker Muse? They have 12.1 thousand followers, following 352 people. They just gave me a little follow. Shout out to the Baker Muse right there. But J-Lo, usually you're seeing the Mahomes, the Allens, the Lamars, the old Mannings, the old Bradys, those type of jerseys out in public. Now we're seeing Butter Mayfield. Popeye's commercial, getting the guys something. I think that great quarterback play has something to do with it. Great friend of the shows and our guy, B-Shuck. Happy Saturday, you two. Nobody picking the Bucs and 5.5 points is disrespectful as hell. I've seen it balloon up to 6.5 at one point. Now it's back down a little bit. The media just loves Detroit. As much as they're talking this up, J-Lo, Dan Campbell and the Lions seem to be the NFC darling these days in terms of favoritism and media, which I do get. They are one of the better teams consistently. They're a really good program. They came from nothing. But in terms of betting lines and all that stuff, kind of expect the Bucs to get doubted on, hated on a little bit still when you're at a team like Detroit. It's just a Tampa Bay way, it seems.
I mean, it's nothing new. I mean, real Bucs fans know it's nothing new. We always get, we always like not the favorite. We're always number 2 instead of number 1 when it comes to picking for the most part. But you can't hate on Detroit. They're a very talented football team, but they need to wake up and realize that, the Bucs are for real. Even with players down, as long as you had number 6 in the game, you had the best chance to win by any means necessary.
Definitely 6. I'll battle with, like he posted on Instagram, anytime, any place. I'll ride with him anytime, any place. Speaking of ride, mock, yeah, Dumb and Dumber quote, yeah.
Burn. Classic.
Richard, you are the man. We appreciate your quotes greatly. The great Olivia and Trisha are both in the house. Olive saying, hey. Trisha saying, happy Saturday, everyone. Welcome in, ladies. We love our lady listeners. We won't sing again. We promise you that. We won't reenact Dumb and Dumber anymore. Although J-Lo and I would be a pretty good Dumb and Dumber sequel. So maybe January, J-Lo.
Bet, let's do it. Maybe.
I mean, an entertaining way too, because I thought I thought that movie was hilarious. I thought those guys were hilarious. I thought that was honestly probably Jim Carrey's best work. But we're here on the Buccateers, not a movie mayhem. But I love it. Puckhead saying Puckhead from O'Hare. Our guy, get him back to Nebraska. J-Lo, Puckhead's been everywhere. We went to the Notre Dame game with him last week. After that, Sunday, he flew out to meet up with his son in Vegas. They went to Raiders-Titans. After that, on Wednesday, he flew to Washington, D.C., and today he's going back to Nebraska. I mean, this guy is just everywhere, and I guess he's helping Matt Rule pack his bags. But here's the thing. He had like a 9-hour window in Happy Valley, and now that window's shut. So, J-Lo, I don't know if he's going to be helping him to Happy Valley or where, but.
Nah, I mean, that man travels, man. Holy smokes. I mean, he probably can't wait to get back to his bed and lay in his pillow and stuff, man. You know, when eventually you get homesick, when you're away for such a long time, especially the way Nebraska played last night. I don't blame his attitude towards Matt Rule.
Yeah, I mean, do you think maybe the media, the noise, the rumors, everything was getting to him, maybe, so to speak? We could talk about that here when we bring up our college football topics here in a little bit. We got a live loaded crowd on Facebook. The great real estate agent in the Tampa Bay area, David Ferrara. If you need any real estate needs, reach out to our guy, David. He will more than help you out, which is incredible. So, that is really good stuff. The Godfather, James Rubright in the house. We love you, Godfather. Thanks for tuning in per usual. Always good stuff over there. Then our guy, El Monito, in the house as well. The great El Monito joining in on Facebook too. We just appreciate it. Bucs Rays Bolts. We need a win Monday. The great Jen F. We love our ladies. Good morning. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you, Jen. Thanks for coming in. Cleve and me saying Rossini just tweeted Baker Mayfield going to get extended at the end of the year. Yes, because he does have one more year, as we talked about the other day, J-Lo, after 2025. So we still have him next year. So that makes sense. And we kind of talked about that the other day. I talked about that on the Lions Guys pod, that, hey, this Baker Mayfield contract extension talk will be coming soon. Real quick, speaking of contract extension talk coming soon, breaking news, we have signed Gene to an extension, 8 years, $800 million extension. Gene, how we doing, brother? Long time no talk.
Doing good, fellas, man. I'm glad to be back. Hopefully I sound okay.
Yeah, you sound great, man. You're looking great. Are you in Ray J now? Are you pregame 20? Well, we're away anyways, but are you at Ray J?
How you gonna come into Tampa and not tell me, Gene? What's going on, bro?
You're the first one I'm gonna talk to, man. So I am so excited about this season. This has been better than expected, to be honest. 100% honest here. I knew that, this team was going to be competitive in all the games when you looked at the schedules. And, what's interesting to me is there's not a front runner in the NFL right now. There's not a team that's just like way ahead of the curve. I mean, anything can happen. So I'm excited. I'm really looking forward to all these games. And no matter what game it is, the Bucs are in it.
Gene, you alluded to something great that isn't being talked about enough, I feel like, and it's both in the NFL and college this year, in my opinion. The playing field is so even. I feel like truly in college football, in the NFL, the door is wide open. There's a lot of really good teams, but not a ton of great teams out there at this point in time. I think we might start seeing a little bit of separation 3-4 weeks from now. Some of the top might rise to the top, but right now, any team, any given week, just seemingly could. Well, besides the Dolphins, but no, I'm kidding.
Dolphins.
There's some teams out there that maybe not, but for the most part, it seems like all these teams are putting their boxing gloves on. Is Richard saying, welcome back, Gene, F the Falcons. Fuck the Falcons. There you go, Gene.
There we go, man. My man Richard, man after my own heart. Guys, think about this. With all the injuries the Bucs have had, and you know my philosophy, first 6 games is where you get an idea of what your team's going to look like. And you've seen the fighting spirit of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We've never seen a team like this. I mean, and I'm talking PTSD going back years. Even during the Brady era, we never had a team where they fought back. And in the fourth quarter, if there's a touchdown difference, the Bucs are not out of it. The Bucs should have beat the Eagles, but it's hard to beat the refs and the football team. So there's that. When you consider the injuries that the Bucs have had and they've continued to play at such a high level, I mean, a lot of people picked the Bucs to lose that game against the Niners last week, and everything kind of fell in place with the injuries they had. So I think, compliment to Todd Bowles and, again, my man Jason Light. I'm a Jason Light stan, and I'm going to always give him credit where credit's due. You look at the moves that the Bucs have made to get to this point. I mean, free agency and the draft have paid dividends. So I am super excited to see what this team does. And, you may have lost Bucky, you may have lost Godwin, but you've had some other players that are stepping up. So really excited about it.
Johnson & Johnson is stepping up. Cam and Tez, those are 2 guys that are just like young pit bulls out there. They go out there and they play their ass off. And I thought that Tez Johnson MVP thing was hilarious this week too. He's like, man, I haven't done nothing. They're chanting MVP. Sterling Shepard's like, yeah, not for you, man. For that guy back there throwing you the football. J-Lo, thoughts on the Baker, whatever you were going to say as well, and the extension talks looming, as Cleve and me put in here. Gene, if you missed it, even though it was speculated, it's official at year's end, Baker and the Bucs are going to work on a contract extension.
No, he will. That's not a surprise. I mean, he deserves it. I mean, he deserves the bank, whatever he gets for the most part. But knowing Baker Mayfield, he's going to be a team player and take probably a more like easier deal so we can resign other players. That's just the way his mindset's always been. And he deserves a payday. I mean, he deserves the whole thing is the way he's been performing at a high level. He's winning with receivers from 1 to 7 to 8 and 9. The man's just outstanding. And about Tez Johnson, bro, Chris Berman got me laughing. I'm not sure if you call it his halftime, his little 2-minute quick whatever.
I think they limited him to like 30 seconds now, sadly.
Yeah, 30 seconds. But when Tez did the little flip thingy, he was like, wee, that was pretty funny. I just wanted to throw that out there since we were talking about Tez. But back to Baker. I mean, the man's MVP in my book, like I mentioned earlier in the show, and I'm pretty sure Gene can agree to it as well, He's just playing outstanding, and he's winning football games, which we're not used to seeing. We're used to seeing us losing those games in close ones.
Yeah, Gene, what say you on that, and what say you on the probable extension looming for Baker?
Hey, you got to back up the Brinks truck from Tereje and one buck and just let it happen. When I talk about stuff from a historical perspective, going back to the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, the lean years, the Mark Dominic years, and then you have the Jason Light years. When I look at the quarterbacks, you can line up every single quarterback. You have to take Tom Brady out of the equation. He's a unicorn. What happened with Tom Brady is more of your head coach and your general manager and your talent level all came together to come up with getting this guy here. But when you're talking about bringing in a free agent, I mean, you can go back to Steve DeBerg. You could talk about some of Garcia. Jeff Garcia was a quarterback that came here. Baker Mayfield is far head and shoulders above any other free agent acquisition quarterback not named Tom Brady in this league. And, I will die on that hill right there. But what we've seen from him, he just needed somebody to believe in him. He needed somebody that was straight up with him. He could have had that in Cleveland. Cleveland screwed that up. But if you look at Cleveland historically, Cleveland quarterbacks, it's a comedy act right there. I mean, even now, Joe Flacco goes out and is like, Cleveland's horrible. So all I'm saying, I'm coming back to the Bucs to say this. They showed integrity. This ownership, where they weathered the storm with people bad mouthing them after the Super Bowl, and here we are. They've built this winning culture. They've got everything. Now you've got your quarterback. You've got your guy. You got to pay that money to keep him here.
You definitely have to pay him what it takes. As our guy B-Shuck is doing what it takes. Tez is going to be money on the mic. That whole MVP thing was gold with a super chat. We appreciate you. Give you a applause. And then, as always, this is for Gene's Falcon.
There you go.
Yeah, that's going to be our new Falcons welcome horn. Yeah, but our guy B-Shuck doing the most, saying Tez is going to be money on the mic. That whole MVP thing is gold. I mean, ever since he's been drafted, he's really showing his character, his excitement for the game, his proudness of being a football player, right? I think this is a guy who takes pride in that. And a lot of guys, I'm not knocking anyone because all these guys are one in the top 0.5% of the world at what they do. But a lot of the guys take it for granted. I truly believe they playing in the league for granted. Tez Johnson, not one of those guys. I mean, he talked about how grateful he was for Bo Nix and his family, for a guy like Bucky Irvin always being there for him. Now you're really seeing Todd Bowles take him under his wing, a guy like Baker as well. So really good stuff from Tez Johnson, literally always going the extra mile, doing what it takes for him to stay in the game of football level after level. A guy like him could have been like, you know what, man, Oregon was cool. I'm a 7th-round pick. I'm going to come in here. Much like Trey Palmer, right? He had a great rookie year, but after that, he kind of just wavered, and to me, he got ahead of himself a little bit. We haven't seen that yet from Tez, and it's really been fun, right? Because he didn't really play the first couple weeks. You're a rookie, you could bow out, get uninterested. Not Tez Johnson. Kudos to him. Awesome stuff, because remember, a lot of the fans, too, oh, why isn't he returning? Turns out Todd Bowles made the right call. Cam Johnson has been an incredible returner thus far. So I will give Thomas McGahee credit there, our special teams coordinator, who's been not having a great year, under a lot of fire. That is one thing, Gene. I think our returns have been phenomenal this year, especially the punt returns.
Yeah, absolutely. Best that I've seen in, I'd say 5-6 years or more, to be honest. I mean, the Bucs have never been known for the return game, regardless of, how far back you go. But I will say this, and again, I'm not to harp on Jason Light, but in his team, talent evaluation has been huge. They've been bringing guys in that are football players. Hey, I want to play. I want to play for this team. It's not about, no, hey, look at me. And I'm going to give you a primary example, Odell Beckham Jr. Here's a guy, a lot of talent. He basically got contracts because of that one-handed catch in New York. But he never like honed his skills like Mike Evans. Mike Evans has continuously gotten better. And I think I may have mentioned this in the chat. Could you imagine a Mike Evans with the route running that you see from Ibuka? Just right out the gates. But it took Mike Evans a while to get to where he is. And here's a guy that loves the game. He loves his team, and he sacrificed so much. Jason Light has continuously gotten players that have come in and, hey, I want to play for this team. And coming full circle, Tez Johnson, here's another guy. He loves football. He loves his team, and he's making the most of his opportunities. That's the biggest part right there. When you are ready, you don't have to get ready. And that's what he's been doing. And his name was called. He's come out and done what he needed to do. And let's just see if he can continue that trajectory. With injuries, we've gotten to see a lot more of him. And I think it's going to be huge for him in the back end of the season. He may get called upon in the playoffs or, a critical game that the Bucs need the back end of the season, but he's getting all these reps now. He's making the most of these reps, and that's what's working for him.
Exactly, Gene, and you hit the nail on the head, and we keep getting great comments here from our chat room. B-Shuck saying Baker deserves a higher end. Once again, if you have free time later today, check it out on YouTube. It's called Talking Grit, a Detroit Lions podcast. Our Lions friends, I appeared on their show, and they asked me about it, and I pretty much explained it to the extent that Baker Mayfield, I think, could earn top quarterback money, but will probably not settle, still a disgusting amount of money, but probably sign for 50 to 55 million. And what happens with that is it doesn't press the envelope. Then look at the Jaguars. Take them, for example, this season alone. Trevor Lawrence takes the cream of the crop money. Good for him, right? But at day's end, it goes from being able to sign a guy like Cooper Kupp, maybe potentially, which Liam Cohen would have loved. And instead, you got to settle for a guy like De'Ami Brown, who's still a nice wide receiver. But at day's end, if the Jaguars have Cooper Kupp as wide receiver 3, with Brian Thomas, Travis Hunter, opposed to a De'Ami Brown, that's why I think Baker Mayfield realizes, hey, I could probably shave 10, 15 million off a year, which I'm still getting paid a very handsome amount of money, and that'll allow the Bucs to retain guys like Evans and Godwin and Sterling Shepard like we have for years now. So I think that's what makes Baker Mayfield special and important, is the fact, like B-Shuck says, I think he deserves a higher end, but at day's end, he'll take the lower tier of that higher end. J-Lo, thoughts on that?
No, I couldn't agree more. I mean, Baker, knowing him over the last three to 4 seasons now, he's the type of guy it's going to take a little bit less money to bring back players, like you just mentioned. And that's what you got to love about it, when it comes to a player like that. Not somebody who's greedy and wants to get the whole booty right then and there. To me, you want a guy that wants to, spread the love, make sure everybody else gets taken care of too. That's just, the way Baker is. And I'm just glad that he's on our team.
We got. Go ahead, Gene. I was going to say we got 2 surprise Rumble entrants so far this year. Chris Jericho and now Gene has entered into the ring as well.
Dude, this right here, like what you guys were talking about, I think it's important to keep that kind of thing in perspective. That he's earned this money, and again, this is something. I mean, you can line him up against all the other quarterbacks not named Tom Brady with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he's more than earned. I mean, he's earned legend status. I mean, just with some of the plays that he's made this year and last year, he's earned legend status already. I mean, you go back and think about quarterbacks and plays that they've made, and then you think about Baker Mayfield just over the past 2 seasons and what he's done. He's more than earned that. And again, I'll die on that hill. He's probably, out of the ones not named Tom Brady, I would put him up there, just with his style of play and his level of play.
Definitely agree. I mean, I would think, as you alluded to, Brady's kind of a unicorn in his own category, but I would think Baker is probably top 2. Him and Doug Williams, probably the 2 best in Bucs franchise history. Not named Tom Brady, along with friend of the program's Brad Johnson, right there on the doorstep for number 3. Speaking of 3, it's the 3 amigos here on the Buccateers podcast. Gene returns. J-Lo remains here, and so does Tampa Tones. Joey Nips will be joining shortly. Let's get our Bucs bets in, fellas, since it is ticking. I love this show, and we're going to try and make people some money by guessing some of these Bucs props. Now, remember, with the game being Monday night, there might not be as many prop bets available on the websites yet because the injury report, like, for instance, Mike Evans, questionable. Although I think he plays and he will play, but for Vegas purposes, that's going to hinder a lot of the bets and the potential bets right now. So we'll bet what we can. But, fellas, Monday night doubleheader. If the Bucs win, I'm going to stay up and watch the second game. But if they don't, I have to pop up early because that's going to be a late one. But J-Lo, Gene, we ready to win some money?
Let's do this.
Hey, Dave.
All right, J-Lo, we'll start with you. Bucs money line or Bucs spread? $10 on plus 6 points would win you $10. Or are you going with the money line, $10 to win you $21 if the Bucs win straight up?
I'm gonna go with money line. I think definitely 5.5. It's gonna be a little bit more than that by a smidge, but yeah, money line Bucs.
Gene, you get the front runners for touchdown scores. Out of these individuals, who are you? And Mike Evans is listed, ladies and gentlemen. So That's a little bit of breaking news. That means Vegas assumes Mike Evans will be playing on Monday as well. And if we all know something, it's always Vegas knows a thing or two about the NFL, right? So breaking news, Mike Evans is listed. But Gene, are you betting $10 on Rachaad White to score a touchdown? That would win you $10.20. $10 on Mike Evans to win you $11, or $10 on K-Dot to win you $12.80.
Hey, you know what? I'm playing the wild card here. I'm going to go K-Dot.
I like
for
that.
The 12.
He's
go big or go home.
Strong. Yeah, I agree. I love that, and he's been coming on strong. And
I think the big, and sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I think the big thing is the cohesiveness that you're seeing with Baker Mayfield. He's starting to trust K-Dot a lot more, and K-Dot has found himself open on a few occasions. I hope that they utilize Rachaad White more in the passing game, but again, K-Dot that's good money right there. That's, I would take it every day.
I love it. I think I agree. He's coming on more and more, as you said, and people. I'm not going to get the Bucs Twitter right now about the Mark Andrews thing. I'm just not.
Please not.
Yeah, don't get me started.
I wish I had a ambulance noise. Anyways, Sterling Shepard to Tez Johnson, J-Lo. Sterling Shepard, $10 bet would win you $18.50. Tez Johnson, $10 bet would win you $27, Mr. J-Lo.
Tough one. I mean, they both could do it even at the same time, but I'll go with Tez. I'll take Tasmania.
I'll get the next one. It's moderate long shots. Ryan Miller, $10 would win you $51. Baker Mayfield rushing touchdown, $10 would win you $60. Sean Tucker, $10 would win you $57.50. Or Cam Johnson, $10 would win you $54. This is a tough one because this player group, Tucker and Cam Johnson scored last week. Ryan Miller does have a touchdown to his name this year. Baker could obviously scramble. So all these guys are capable of scoring touchdowns. However, I'm going to go with Cameron Johnson only because he does do punt returns. And I thought he played fairly well at wide receiver last week to earn him some reps out there this week. Let's run it, $10 to win you $54. Why not? Gene, you end with the long shots. Payne Durham or Devin Culp? Payne Durham, $10 would win you $115, and Devin Culp, $10 would win you $130.
I think I would go with Payne Durham on that one.
I agree, and
that could actually happen.
Yeah, it seems like he just plays at the red zone a lot more, right?
Yeah,
and the goal line area a lot more too. So I think I like that one as well, Payne Durham, because. Nothing against Devin Culp. It seems like they're not playing him on too many snaps, too many passing downs right now. J-Lo, you get passing yards by Baker Mayfield over under 240.5.
I'm going to say over. I think he's going to play out of his mind Monday. I say over.
Gene, you get passing touchdowns by Baker Mayfield over under 1.5.
Over. I will take
J-Lo. I like the over. I think it's a pretty safe. I think he's done it in every game but one this year. I could be wrong, but I think the Jets game, he only threw one. Other than that, I want to say he's thrown at least two in every football game. J-Lo, over under 1 interception by Jared Goff. If you bet 10 on Goff to throw an interception and he does, you would win 12.
I'm gonna say over. I think we'll pick him off. We picked him off twice last year. I think we can pick him off at least one time Monday night.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. I think I have high hopes there for that as well. Moving from the passing to the receiving world in our Bucs bets, total yards time. And okay, so that's where it's going to be affected. The Bucs total yards are not out yet with the Mike Evans uncertainty. So there you go. That's what I meant earlier. With the Bucs being banged up at wide receivers, some of these odds might not be listed yet. So we'll go to the running room as receiving yards ain't out yet. Gene, Rachaad White over under 51.5 rushing yards in this game.
I'm going to go under on that one.
I like, somebody has to be.
That defense, right? that defense against the run, they do pretty good. So I will take the under on that.
I think I agree with you there. J-Lo, Baker Mayfield, 21.5 rushing yards over under.
I'm going to say over. I could see him scrambling once or twice, and it can turn into like a 10-yard gain.
Yep. I think I agree with you there. We've seen Baker get more than that yardage alone on some runs, right? So we'll see what happens there. Special teams wise now, Gene, 1.5 made field goals for Chase McLaughlin over under. If you bet 10, that would win you $10.40 if he were to make 2.
I'll take the over on that.
Yeah, and then before we get to our last bet, working to confirm this, but we may have some breaking news, and we do have breaking news. Emeka Igbigbu, as Rob Gronkowski would say, is back at practice. So Igbuka is practicing. Breaking news. And guys, as we talk about the odds being fluid, this is exactly what I mean by all the odds not being listed for Vegas yet, right? Because look at this. Now, Igbuka, Gene, just like that, we might get Igbuka back right now.
That's exciting right there. Again, I didn't expect him back, for another couple of weeks. The Buccaneers are very careful with soft tissue injuries. If you've noticed anything about Todd Bowles, since he's been the coach, they have taken serious precautions to make sure that their guys are 100% when they're coming back. So if he's at practice, that's a very good sign to me. They're not rushing him back early, and he's ready to go. I didn't think it was that serious when it happened, but I'm kind of guessing that it was precautionary to hold him out and make sure he's good, because this is a long season. So the Bucs ended up winning these games, and I think that it's ideal that they're taking care of him like that.
Well said, Gene. And J-Lo, for the rest of the practice news is good as well. Levante David returned today for the Buccaneers. Mike Evans returned today for the Buccaneers. Zion McCollum practiced again today for the Buccaneers. Benjamin Morrison practiced again today for the Buccaneers. No practice, Bucky Irvin, Chris Godwin, or Luke Haggard. We all expect those 3 to be out for multiple weeks. J-Lo, but thoughts on, Evans back, David back, McCollum and Morrison not having a setback. That's big news for Monday.
Well, I think we all knew that Evans was a possible go for sure with him returning to practice this week. Levante David, to me, was a veteran rest a couple of days. He's a veteran. He deserves those rest days, even though I think he was battling a rib and knee injury. Zion McCollum, he was all smiles at his last interview, and he said that, he's good to go. So that's awesome, getting these guys back. Benjamin Morrison, I'm curious to see how his play goes, because when Gene and I were at the game, he was all lights out at corner before he pulled his hammy at the end of the game. So that's great news. And Emeka Igbigbu, what a stud, man. If he really does come back to play Monday, him and Mike, boy, look out Lions DB, because their room is hurt right now. Good luck trying to cover those guys.
No, Emeka has not been ruled out yet. Todd Bowles just hinted earlier in the week that it wasn't looking good for Emeka Igbigbu, but you don't rule players out yet this early in the week. You don't have to declare the official injury report until 24 hours before game time. So, no, he is not ruled out. As B-Shuck said, he could end up being a game time decision. And it's just great news seeing him out there. But he is not out. He could play this week, as could Evans, as could the rest of those guys we just mentioned. It's up to the wire until you're ruled out. And even if you're ruled out prematurely, your status can get upgraded. That's happened before, too. A guy's been ruled out on Tuesday or Wednesday, and then they've been upgraded. So nothing's official until those call-ups are made from the practice squad, the active roster. Set in stone. Speaking of set in stone, my line to watch is set in stone, guys. I'm going with Aiden Hutchinson when we get to Monday. Last year, we saw Justin School, good old Schoolie, now on the Vikings. He was doing the best he could, filling in at tackle for this Bucs team, but sometimes a better man wins, and Hutchinson got 5 sacks last season against this Buccaneers team in one game. The Buccaneers still escaped with victory, but that's my player to watch, with a guy like Charlie Hecken, with perhaps Michael Jordan playing right guard as well, if he's able to play, which he's trending in the right direction. But still, a guy like Aiden Hutchinson out there is going to be a menace to society, especially with the banged up right side. The Lions are going to scheme him on that left side, specifically, or on that right side, my apologies, specifically Casey Rogers is that defensive line coach coming over from the Buccaneers, knowing their O-line weakness potentially. So there you go. I think Aiden Hutchinson is my player to watch. J-Lo, what say you?
Around St. Brown, that's another player that gives us fits, on the, when it comes to
gives everybody fits.
Jesus, no, I'm saying though, last year he was ripping us apart, and then he ended up getting injured, got banged up, and he didn't finish the last drive. He's a player to really watch. I'm curious to see who they're going to put on him, either Zion or Dean. Probably put both of them, take turns, but he's going to be someone to really watch out for when it comes to trying to stop that Lions offense.
Yeah, I agree. I like Amon-Ra. Gene, what say you? Who's your guy to watch?
Real quick, was he hurt? Our secondary was down the last time we played the Lions, I believe. I don't believe we didn't have our full complement of secondary players, but I think with the players that have come on this year, I just kind of touching on that, I think that was huge for them. I'm going to say the Detroit's defensive line is going to be what we really need to be watching out for. Grizzard, this is going to be a great test for him, and this offense, how he calls this game. But I think they've got the right complement of players on whether it's running, tight end, or a receiver. I think if you can limit mistakes, limit penalties, I think the Bucs will be fine. But I think that Lions defense is very formidable. So especially the defensive line will be what I'll be watching out for.
Agreed. I think, and they got some guys potentially returning on that defensive line as well, that Dan Campbell and also the guys over at Talking Grit alluded to on our show. They kind of alluded to guys returning even before Dan Campbell did. So I want to give a tip of the cap to them when they were on our show on Tuesday. But they said probably Tyleik Williams steps up and plays a big role there, and Aleem McNeil, the defensive lineman, could return for them. So between Tyleik Williams stepping up, the rookie, and Aleem McNeil returning from injury, those are two guys on the defensive line to watch as well, like Gene's alluding to. Any news on Godwin? He's out for sure. He's not going to be back this week. He'll hopefully be back after the bye. That's what I would guess is the best hope. J-Lo, quick thoughts on that before we get to our Bucs score predictions and player of the game?
No, I couldn't agree more. I mean, even Godwin, if he can go next week, I wouldn't play him. Just hold him out till after the bye week. That way he's fully, most part healed. We'll be fine, for the most part. I'd say after the bye week.
Monday Night Football doubleheader game 1, Bucs Lions. We will be doing a pregame show with our guys from Talking Grit here live, 6 o'clock Eastern time, leading you up to kickoff, 6 to 7 Eastern here on the Buccateers Monday night. You don't want to miss it. They're both going to be joining us. J&J, I call them. They're a Fairfield tag team over there in the Indies of Detroit, running wild on everybody over there. So here we go, guys. Bucs score prediction and player of the game prediction time. J-Lo, we'll start with you. How do you see this one ending, and who you got stepping up?
Lots of chest pain for sure. But I will say, Bucs, I think they pull out the win. I think they win 34-30 against Detroit. It's going to be just nonstop, throwing the ball everywhere. And the MVP to me is going to be, don't make a scene, just Jamel Dean making the pit to seal the game. The guy's been playing
You're still cream cheesing from meeting him. I love it.
Oh yeah, no, he's awesome, man. I love that guy. Like I said, I'm rooting for him.
Should have told him about the Buccateers, baby.
I was nervous, man. I got nervous just doing the whole, his whole little skit he does. So, that might be on that one. So I'll have to be better next time.
I'm kidding, man. I'm kidding. You're a boots on the ground Florida guy, though. So, you're like walking advertisement out there. So J-Lo's going 34-30 Bucs. Jamel Dean is the player of the game for this Bucs team, and Amon-Ra St. Brown as the Lions player to watch. Gene, you're going with Detroit D-line to watch. Who you going with for the Bucs as the player of the game and the final score prediction?
I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go the way that Baker Mayfield does. He breathes life into this team as a whole. whether it's the defense or the offense. I mean, we've seen in years past where quarterbacks have sucked the life out of a defense, but on the flip side of that, we're seeing Baker Mayfield making plays with his legs, and I believe the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense and offense will go however Baker Mayfield takes him. So I think that he will be the player of the game. He's been a thorn in the side of Detroit, and I'm really looking forward to watching him play.
That was just beautiful. I think so. Baker, just as we alluded to earlier, anytime you have 6 on the field, it even at their minimum, even against Detroit and San Fran's of the world, a little banged up. Richard saying Evans player of the game. I believe he has to average 78.5 yards per game for the remainder of the year if he played every game to get to that 1,000 mark. So that is something we'll surely have to watch if Mike Evans could get there. I'm going to go with Buccaneers stealing a victory, 30-26 on the road. I think Detroit's going to go for it a couple times, end up regretting them going for it, fall victim to the Bucs playing some step-up D, kick-me-up D. And with guys like Gibbs, with guys like Montgomery, those 2 de facto backs, you're going to need somebody making plays. And I think one guy to watch to make some plays is going to be Tyke Smith, who has had an incredible year thus far, transitioning from the nickel role to the safety role. I'm proud of this kid. He's made it look easy. It looks like he's a tenured vet out there, and he's in number 2. So, yes, you may see Aiden Hutchinson wreck the game again. Yep, I agreed. I said the same thing. And they say Detroit's going to move the ball. Tampa wins, though, if they hold them out of the red zone. Yeah, Aiden Hutchinson was my player to watch out for. Tyke Smith, my Bucs player. But, Gene, thoughts on that?
Yeah, I 100% agree. That guy was a monster, and it was just painful to watch him because it was like he had this cheat code that he was using, and he was just like shredding that offense. But again, I think the Bucs have rebounded pretty good with their offensive line play. They're better. They're in a better place than what I thought they would be. Getting Tristan Wirfs back has really righted the ship, and a lot of these guys have been able to kind of come into their own. It hasn't been a concern. I mean, if you go by use the measuring stick of Bucs Twitter, and there are just certain people out there, that just really just get on your nerves. You know what I'm saying? And they just kind of mess it up. But if you go by Bucs Twitter, that's just kind of what they think. But I honestly believe that it's not going to be that way.
Yeah, I think I concur with Gene, and I know what you're alluding to right there, my friend. For those familiar with Bucs Twitter, it's a Bucs life. We stick with that motto around here. J-Lo, quick thoughts on that before we pivot to more football topics and a big football weekend.
I mean, they're going to have to double team that guy. They're going to have to put the tight end on the right side, chip block. I mean, do something because he was a big, thorn in our ass last year, especially, I mean, for the most part. I'm just glad that we got the win. But I think, Grizzard is definitely preparing for Aiden Hutchinson, as far as the chip block part. They're going to be throwing Payne Durham. They're hopefully put him on his ass. We'll see. But for the most part, it's going to be definitely, like I said, chest pain type of game with Aiden Hutchinson chasing down Baker Mayfield.
Chest pains for sure as we await our guy Joey Nips. We'll tell you the upcoming Buccateers schedule quickly. Like I said, we'll be live back here Monday on a Man Cave Monday, leading you up to kickoff with the Detroit guys joining in the show. Then Tuesday we'll be back on a Tune Me Up Tuesday, and Campus Kickoff will be dropping Tuesday as well, as we have games nightly. Toe in the Line will be dropping Thursday. Then we'll be back with our Saturday Showdown. I'll be on the West Coast doing that one live, so I'll have to wake up nice and early there. So we'll see how that goes, but that'll be fun. Speaking of fun, we got Joey Nips. No, I'm kidding. Joey Nips. There
it is.
It's the Toe Show. How we doing?
That's on you. I wasn't going to do it here, but What a special show. It's always good to see Gene. He's always smiling, bringing the good vibes, as we should be, right? Both of our teams are at top of the conferences. Who would have thought that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all banged up and the Indianapolis Colts under Danny Dimes would be your two best records in football? I'm fired up. Buck it up. Let's go.
And what's your Colts score prediction and player of the game? As they got a tough battle with the Chargers, 4 o'clock Eastern on Sunday. What say you for the Colts corner, my friend?
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit tough. We finally got a little bit of the injury bug. Travarius Ward and Josh Downs will be out for this game. But the Chargers are banged up too. They're down to their third, fourth, fifth string offensive linemen. And if you notice when they played Miami, that's why it was a close game, because they're just getting swamped with sacks right now. So both teams a little banged up. What's new? That's the NFL. Next man up mentality. You guys know that all the time. I think a lot of people are going to pick the Chargers here, so that's why I'm going to go the opposite. And I'm going to say Colts 24, Chargers 20, and what will be a fun and entertaining game at 4:05 Eastern with Ian Eagle and J.J. Watt.
J-Lo, what say you on the Colts to this point? And your guy went down with a freak accident. Anthony Richardson can't stay healthy if he tried.
Yeah.
No, unfortunately, he's got bad luck. I'm praying for the kid, to get back on his feet, but we'll see how that goes. But it's going to be a close one. But I think the Colts pull it out. I think they win 20-17. I think it's going to be a good defensive battle. And I say Jonathan Taylor is going to do what he does best, just run the ball well, take time out the clock to get the Colts to win.
Gene, right now, these two, along with Denver, are probably the top 3 in the AFC, as crazy as that sounds at this time. But it's been a fun year, as we alluded to earlier, Gene, a lot of parity. Do you think the Chargers or the Colts sneak away with this one?
I've got my money on the Colts, and I'm in it. This is going to be a blowout, actually, I think.
Oh, wow.
Personally, yeah.
Oh,
so the Colts religiously run the ball. Religiously. They're just like, they're hidden. And that defensive line, I'm not impressed with the Chargers defensive line at all. And I just think that this is going to be one of those games where they wear him down. Danny Dimes gets, he makes a few plays with his legs. I think this game gets out of hand, and I think the Colts win. I would say 28-14 is what I'm predicting.
I like that. And, the Chargers, I alluded to it a couple weeks ago when they lost to the Giants. I'm like, their O-line is full of banged upness. And then they add the injuries to the running back room. And now you got a couple running backs back there who played decent last week, but could they sustain that? Meanwhile, this Colts team, yes, they're suffering some injuries, but they've prevailed to this point, and they haven't lost a Taylor type. They haven't lost a key cog on their O-line. They haven't really lost anybody that's going to truly make them a worse football team. That's why I'm going with the Colts in this one on the road. Win banged up and keep moving forward. If you're the Colts, you got Jaguars you're competing head-to-head with. You got to keep winning these football games if you want to win the AFC South. And it starts with beating cream of the crop of the AFC. They did it once this year with the Broncos. Could they do it again here with the Chargers? This is a big litmus test for this Colts team. I'll go with the 24-21 Indianapolis Colts victory, squeaking it out against the Chargers. From the NFL to the college football, it's time for our college football spread 'em if you got them. We got a huge slate of college games on the topic on the agenda today. Some great games last night. 2 of the top 25 teams in the country went down. Bill Belichick almost upset Cal on the road late at night. It was just a crazy day of games. Utah State won on a field goal at the last second over San Jose State. So very much fun with Miami and Nebraska losing yesterday and some upsets. And somebody's going to lose in this one, Joey. Number 10 ranked LSU, number 17 ranked Vanderbilt in Vandy, noon Eastern, Vandy -1.5.
Yeah, we're just going to be blunt this morning. I fucking hate Brian Kelly. He's a deadbeat dog. He's going to take his ass out back, and Vanderbilt's going to come up big, go to 6-1, because you know what? When LSU has big games, they crumble. That's what Brian Kelly does. That's what's happened the past few years. He's had guys like Jaden Daniels. He's had other big players, and he doesn't win because his leadership is poor, and he's a damn loser. Go Vanderbilt.
And I think one of these teams.
Sorry.
One of these teams will be exposed on being a fraud, in my opinion, today. Because if you look at Vanderbilt's wins, they haven't been great to this point, and then they got blown out by Bama. If you look at LSU's wins, they've barely beaten a lot of and then they lost to Ole Miss. So today, whoever loses this game, Vanderbilt, LSU, is a fraud, in my opinion. Brian Kelly, I don't really like the guy, but it's going to be a tough game. So it'll be a fun one. Diego Pavia is a stud on Vanderbilt. We'll say that for sure.
You know, and I just real quick, I gotta throw this in there. I always consider Brian Kelly the Cam Newton of coaches, of college coaches. He's a front runner when he's winning. You see all this bravado, but when he's losing, he just kind of curls up in his shell, and he can't win the big games. He can't do it, and that's just kind of what I've seen from him recently. And to me, reminds me of Cam Newton, just the same mentality.
Damn, Cam, sorry about you, my man. Falling victim in the strays there, but no, he really can't win the big one. Speaking of big one, J-Lo, Big Ten's got a pretty good one. Noon Eastern, Washington +4 in the Big House at Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan took a tough loss, I believe, last week, but I think they rebound. They get the win.
G, number 12 ranked Georgia Tech, still undefeated, by the way. They're 3.5-point underdogs in Duke, led by Manny Diaz and co. Noon Eastern.
Oh man, wow, that's gonna be a good game. I've got I think I'm gonna take Georgia Tech by 2 touchdowns.
I love it. I think they win as well. Joey, Arizona -1 at Houston. That's another fun one, noon Eastern.
Man, I'm bricked up. This slate is awesome today. Holy cow.
This is like a late season. This is a little late season schedule here.
Yeah, you call this Separation Saturday right here. Step up from the boys to the men. I'm thinking with some of these good football games. Give me Arizona because I think they simply have better QB play.
Yeah, J-Lo, this one's another fun one because you got a ranked team against an unranked team, but this unranked team is one of the best quarterback prospects in the country. Number 14th ranked Oklahoma on the road, -4 at 12:45 p.m. Eastern at South Carolina and Lenore Sellers.
You know, I mean, it's pretty tough to pick because Oklahoma had a really poor performance against Texas, but I like South Carolina. My bad, South Carolina.
G, number 4th ranked Texas A&M travels to Arkansas. Texas A&M's -7.5-point favorites, 3:30 p.m. Eastern over there.
I think I'll go ahead and take A&M. Arkansas, I watched a couple of their games this year, and they're playing for pride.
There's a reason why they're looking for the coach, right?
Exactly.
Joey, 3:30 Eastern, 5th ranked Ole Miss. 1 touchdown underdogs, 7 points at 9th ranked Georgia. That spread's a little surprising to me.
Who's that coming down the track? It's the Mean Machine in the red and black. No chance. Give me Ole Miss on the road. Lane Kiffin finally gets a big win. I don't like Georgia's quarterback play this year, even though Ole Miss not consistent either. I think 4 quarterbacks have played between these two teams. It's going to come down to the trenches. Give me Ole Miss by the slightest.
J-Lo, this one's a fun one, although the names aren't that recognizable. These teams have had really fun seasons to this point. 4-2 Old Dominion plus 2.5 at 5-1 James Madison, Kurt Cignetti's old stomping grounds.
That's an interesting one. Give me James Madison. I think they win home field advantage.
I agree. That's just a fun little game, right there. Gene, undefeated UNLV, led by Dan Mullen, is 13-point underdogs at Boise State, 3:30 Eastern. That's a lot of points.
That is a lot of points. I would take the under on that. I think that I do believe that Boise's gonna pull that out, but I would take the under on that.
I agree. That's a lot of points to me. I'm with you there. Joey, number 1 ranked Ohio State, -25.5-point favorites in Wisconsin, 3:30 Eastern.
Man, what has happened to Wisconsin? I feel like every year they almost just seem to maybe fall off a little bit more. Ohio State's going to win big. Question is, can Wisconsin cover? I think they backdoor cover it just because it's so many points, but Ohio State by 24.
J-Lo, number 22 ranked undefeated Memphis, who has a real chance at the playoffs at this point, is at UAB, 21.5-point favorites. Mort, the great Mort, rest in peace to the late great Mort of ESPN. His son is actually coaching the game for UAB in this one.
Oh yeah, I mean, shout out to him. But I will say, Memphis, I think, will cover the points. They're a really good, talented team.
Gene, 3:30 Eastern, Michigan State, 27.5-point underdogs on the road at number 3 in the country, Indiana.
Let's see. What is the spread on that?
27.5. Michigan is underdogs. I'm sorry.
I'll take the under on that right there. I have Indiana winning that game.
Yeah, I like Indiana too. I think they're gonna take a toll on them. Joey, 4:00 Eastern, 7th ranked Texas Tech, -7 at Arizona State.
Yeah, Texas Tech still unbeaten, quietly under the radar, playing very good football. And I don't want it to end today. Let's see the Red Raiders keep making havoc in here. I'll take the Red Raiders to cover, win by 7.
J-Lo, the Fighting Mike Leach is the Mississippi State 9.5-point underdogs in Florida at 4:15 p.m.
I find that hard to believe the way Florida's been playing, but I think Gators will pull out a close one. It's going to be closer than the experts think, even though I'm fed up with Billy Napier.
You know what? On that note, I want him to lose so they can fire this dude and get him out the door. I'm sorry to say that this guy is horrible. He's just culturally he's bad for Florida football. He's just bad all the way around. And the writing's on the wall. Why not just hey, let's move on. I know you talk about recruiting and stuff like that, but when you got fans and boosters and all this other stuff, he's got to go.
I agree. I think he's as good as gone, and I think James Franklin will become the next head coach of the Florida Gators. Joey, Washington State +17 on the road, barely lost to Ole Miss last week. They're at 18th ranked Virginia today. Virginia -17 at home, 6:30 Eastern.
Yeah, give me Virginia, especially since they're at home. I think they win big today against Washington State.
Gene, 8th ranked Oregon -17.5 points at Greg Schiano and his Rutgers, 6:30 Eastern p.m.
They're going to put boots to behind. I know we're monetized and everything. I'll be careful with it. They'll put boots to tail on Oregon. Oregon is going to stomp them out. Rutgers. Rutgers has just been mid-level. Regardless of Greg Schiano being there or whatever, they've always been a mid team, and that's just kind of coming into that a powerhouse like Oregon. They're going to get stomped out.
I think I agree with you there. J-Lo, 21st ranked Texas -12.5 points at Kentucky, 7:00 Eastern.
No, I like Texas on the road at Kentucky, even though Kentucky's a tough place to play at, but they played a lot better last week against Oklahoma. Give me Texas over Kentucky.
Joey, 7:00 Eastern, Penn State +3.5 on the road in Iowa.
Sometimes these funny things have a way of working out, but I think a lot of people, even though James Franklin, he was actually just on the program on television talking about things, I think it hit them a lot harder than most, and usually I would pick them to win when you usually fire a coach that first game after, but without Drew Aller's not playing today, correct?
Correct. He's out for the year.
Yeah, so I'm actually going to take Iowa. It will be a close game still, but I don't believe they step up. I think this was too much of an emotional factor for them.
J-Lo, 7:00 Eastern, Maryland at UCLA. UCLA suddenly -3 points. Who would have thought that ever had the chance at the beginning of the season?
I mean, who would have thought? I mean, I guess that coach move was the right move, and they're playing well. So I let UCLA. I think they keep going. 3-game win streak.
Gene, you get one of the games of the day, 7:30 Eastern, 11th ranked Tennessee, 9.5-point underdogs at 6th ranked Alabama.
Oh man, that's going to be a good game. As much as I hate Tennessee, and this is more personal, this isn't like logical. When I was in Tampa, we went out to eat, and there was a whole slew of Alabama scumbags right next to they had this kind of restaurant that's kind of split off, and they were so horrible. I just want Alabama to lose. I think Tennessee sneaks in and gets one, just because I hope they do. But I think they're playing pretty good ball, and I'm not a Tennessee fan at all. So it must be bad if I'm rooting for Tennessee over Alabama. So I'm just put it that
Worst
way.
of two evils.
The word
Yeah,
exactly.
I think Freddie versus Jason. 7:30.
Exactly. That's a good analogy right there. I'm going to use that. We're talking Freddie versus Jason here, and that's kind of.
Tis the season, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, baby.
7:30 p.m. Eastern, Joey. Your game is a playoff game, pretty much. 20th ranked USC, led by one of the top QBs in the country at 13th ranked Notre Dame. Notre Dame minus 10 points.
Yeah, it's a big spread. I think we win, but covering might be tough. I think we win by 7 to 8 points. USC on the road is not the same team as they are at home always. So I think Notre Dame gets this one, and which could be some spooky, rainy conditions as well.
J-Lo, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, homecoming game. You get FAU 21-point underdogs at number 19th ranked South Florida Bulls, who would make the playoffs, it's looking like right now.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I feel like USF, they're gonna just pound the shit at FAU. I feel like USF's on the right path. You know, Brown's playing out of his mind. So yeah, USF all day.
Gene, 16th ranked Missouri at Auburn, 7:45 p.m. Eastern. Auburn, 1.5-point underdogs. It's pretty much a toss-up.
Yeah, that right there, man. I'm gonna go with Auburn and the points.
I like it. Joey, you get a playoff matchup.
Playoffs?
Playoff.
You kidding me? Playoffs? Jim Moore, a shout out to him. 23rd ranked Utah, -4 at 15th ranked BYU, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern.
Man, tough time to have a wedding like we do today with all these damn games going on. Holy cow, how are we going to keep up? Give me the Mormons of BYU.
J-Lo, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern, 24 ranked Cincinnati, -24-point favorites at the old Mike Gundy stomping grounds of Oklahoma State.
I'm going to say Cincinnati. They're going to pound them. Oklahoma State's got a lot of catching up to do after Gundy left.
Gene, you take us home. Florida State -17.5 at Stanford, 10:30 Eastern to end the night.
Oh, I'm taking Stanford all day and twice on Christmas. Regardless of what it says out there, I just don't like Florida State. So
that's fair. Actually, Joey and I's buddy who's getting married today is a Florida State guy. So there we go. Joey, you're starting us off.
Hey, be sure to do the Gator chomp at some point in the wedding. I'd appreciate that.
I don't think either of those schools should make too big of an appearance at the wedding right now. Maybe bowl. We'll do this. You know what I'm saying? Or should we do the Miami sucks?
Well, we can't even do Miami today after that terrible Carson Beck.
Oh my goodness, what happened?
We're limited on options. Maybe we'll do Anthony Gators since they won. How about that?
Exactly.
Joey, 9:30 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. Get those fantasy lineups set. Red Eyes pick'em time. Moving right into the NFL here. Rams at Jaguars. That game is to be played in London, United Kingdom.
Yeah, what people might think could be offensive, I think this is a lower scoring game. Puka Nacua is out, which is massive for them, of course. And, it depends what Lawrence you're going to get in this game across the pond. They're used to playing there a lot more than the Rams. But give me the Rams by a field goal.
J-Lo, Eagles at Vikings, 1 o'clock Eastern tomorrow.
I think the Eagles rebounded and they beat the Vikings.
Gene, Raiders at Mahomes and company, 1 o'clock Eastern.
Mahomes and the refs win by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, the Zebras, damn them Zebras. Joey, 1 o'clock Eastern, the Saints travel to Chicago.
Chicago, just because the Saints are the Aints, but it could be a little bit closer as we have some rain around here too, but no chance the Saints win.
Who that?
Who dat?
Hoo-ah!
It's scary season. J-Lo, speaking of scary season, you get a fun one. Miami at Cleveland, 1 o'clock Eastern.
Oh my God!
Wow,
Another
the first
Freddie versus
game.
Jason right there.
For real.
Hey,
times
wait till you
100.
see what game Gene gets.
I think Cleveland. I think Cleveland will beat the Dolphins. Dolphins are a lost cause.
Gene, you get Dave Canellis at the Jets, 1 o'clock Eastern tomorrow.
Oh, another Freddie versus Jason. This is spooky season right here. I have the Jets. I have the Jets winning this game. I don't like Dave Canellis and I don't like the Panthers anymore. So just put that out there. But no, all joking aside, I think that the Jets are due, and I think the way they've been competitive in a lot of these games. I think this is a game that they can actually sneak out and win. There's no clear front runner on that game, so I'm taking the Jets.
I agree there. Joey, Patriots at Titans, 1 o'clock Eastern to end the noon games tomorrow.
Yeah, the return of Mike Vrabel to Tennessee, where they, we all know they just fired their coach, and it really didn't help them too much. Is their offense just can't get it on track this season. So New England's in first place. I don't think it will be maybe as big of a blow as people think, but New England wins.
J-Lo, Giants, Broncos in Denver, 4:05 Eastern.
Give me the Giants over the Broncos. Can't Scatterboo. Let's go. Woo!
Run through a wall, Scatterboo. Gene, 4:25 Eastern. The Commandos of Washington travel to Dallas.
Ooh, that's going to be a good game. As much as I hate to say it, I think Dallas pulls that out. I think Dallas gets a win, pump some life into this Cowboys fan base, just so they can be let down at the end of the season. But I'm here for it.
Jerry Jones gives a couple more middle fingers. I mean, thumbs up to the fans. That's epic how he tried to say he was giving thumbs up. It's like, holy cow. Yeah.
Dementia is a hell of a thing, man.
Dementia is a hell of a thing, man. Our guy, Eric Moreno, you really think he'd be? Well, yes, he practiced today. So there you go. Yes, he does have a chance at playing.
Eric Moreno, what's up, boy?
If you practice, yep. Shout out to our guy, Eric. Met him in Atlanta last year. Very cool guy. But if you practice on a Saturday, you'd have to say you're in play for Monday, right? So there you go.
Definitely.
I would say he is in play for Monday. Joey, you get the Packers at Cardinals, 4:25 Eastern.
I think this would be a better game than people think, but Green Bay takes this dub home.
Oh, yeah.
Gene getting a great shout out from the great Eric Moreno, saying thanks for being there about his dad. Good stuff right there, Gene. There you go, brother. Speaking of good stuff, Gene, you get a good one. Falcons at 49ers, Sunday Night Football, 8:20 Eastern.
I think the Niners are pissed about losing to the Bucs, and I think they stomp out Atlanta. I think they get some stops, and I think they win the game.
I agree with you completely there. J-Lo, take us home, 10 o'clock Eastern, Monday night, doubleheader part 2. Houston travels to Seattle.
I'll say Seattle at home, man. Jets and Jibba is just a stud, man. Seattle at home.
Real quick, fantasy mash report time, where we ask some fantasy football questions before we get to our final word and breadwinners of the program, our bets of the weekend, which, by the way, we went 2-1 last week. We're up to 26 wins, 13 losses, and $166 net profit on the season. Pretty good if you ask me. Gene, we're going to go with you here first. Would you start Bo Nix tomorrow in fantasy, who's home against the Giants, or would you start Carson Wentz, who is home against the Eagles?
I would start Bo Nix. I think when you look at coaching, I think that Sean Payton has done a really good job with Bo Nix, and he's put him in a really good position. He's gotten a lot more consistent as the season has gone on. I would definitely start Bo Nix over Carson Wentz.
Joey, in your flex, would you start Jacoby Myers, who's questionable, Kareem Hunt, Cade Otton, or Isaiah Pacheco, half-point PPR?
Ooh, man.
Once again, Cade Otton, Isaiah Pacheco, Kareem Hunt, or Jacoby Myers, who's questionable. Half-point PPR.
Just because with both KC running backs, I don't know how to trust that thing. I'll take Otton. Even though I know Bucs receivers might be getting healthier, Otton's still old reliable.
I like it. And J-Lo, you round us out. Are you starting tomorrow Dylan Gabriel or Cam Ward as your quarterback number 2 in fantasy football?
Ew. I'm just kidding. Now, Dylan Gabriel's not entertaining to me. I'll go with Cam Ward.
All right, that wraps up the Fantasy Mash Report as we're going to move on to our final words and breadwinners on the Saturday Showdown Weekend of Football Kickoff Show. It's been J-Lo, Gene, Joey Nips, Tampa Tones here, bringing you guys pretty much up to Saturday kickoff and a huge sports weekend ahead. Breadwinners time is on the docket. Final word time is on the docket as well. J-Lo, give us your bet of the weekend, my friend, for the Bucs breadwinners segment, and give us your final words.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Give me USF covering the spread. I think they're just going to pound the crap out of FAU because they're the real deal this year. And final word is, great chopping out with your guys. As usual, fun time. Check out the campus kickoff. Jail's Jolts has been on fire. I've been nailing my bet, pretty much all my Jolts for the most part. And, hey, let's enjoy college football. Y'all two have a fun time at the wedding. Don't have too much fun, Don't be falling over. No sucking on toes on Joey.
Hey, easy. Easy.
Keep on keeping on.
Who'd you take again?
He took USF spread, South
Thank
Florida
you.
spread. Gene, do you have a breadwinner or bet of the weekend for us, brother? And what's your final word? It's a great return for the great millions and millions. Gene Thomas.
I'm looking at this. I'm actually looking at this Alabama game, and I really think that this is a game where Tennessee is going to win this game. I would take Tennessee in the points, and that would be my breadwinner right there. I'm actually going to see how I can actually bet on that game. Let me go to the casino and drop some money.
I like that, Gene. I like the breadwinner right there. I think that. And final word?
Oh, yeah. I just want to say thank you guys. I know I've kind of been away for a little bit, but it's getting everything adjusted. I'm here. I've been in the chat with you guys, watching you guys really do some amazing things. Really happy with, where this podcast is going and where this team of great people, I don't want to say influencers or whatever. I say people, these great human beings. And, I appreciate all you guys and, everything that you guys are doing. And, just keep doing what you're doing. Fan base is, the Bucs are winning, so the fan base is kind of calm right now. But, we'll, if anything changes, we'll weather that storm and we'll get to the playoffs and it'll be fun.
Couldn't agree more with you, Gene. We love having you here, brother. You're always welcome. You're a Buccateer for life, brother, and it's great having the great Gene Thomas back. So we got Gene with Tennessee spread, J-Lo with South Florida spread. Joey, who's your breadwinner, and what's your final word, my friend?
Gene's going to love this one. Fuck the Falcons. 49ers are going to kick their ass this weekend. I don't even think it's close. What a disgrace to even throw Atlanta on Sunday Night Football with Raheem the Dream and Michael Penix, Jr. So give me the 49ers money line. I think they'll win. You know what? Give me the spread. I want a little bit more money. The Falcons won't even cover the 2.5. And my final word on the program, what a great shout out by Gene. Really can't say it much better than that. But talking about people and friends, have a wedding tonight during football, which is, tough to take in, but always about the people you love and good people, good vibes. That's what weddings bring. There's too much dark in this world these days. And there's nothing better than being at a wedding where everybody's dancing, drinks are flowing, smiles, laughs galore. So I'm looking forward to it. With Tampa Tones and many more of us.
I love it. Very well said there. My final word and breadwinner. My breadwinner is going to be bumping the Georgia Tech spread to 7.5, $20 to win you $12 there. They're at Duke today. So I'm going with Georgia Tech plus 7.5 on the road, and Duke is my breadwinner. I think they at least keep it in a touchdown. 20 to win 12. And once again, shout out to Bonomo and Brenda, great friends of Joey and I's. It's going to be an honor celebrating them today. Hope Florida State wins for you, brother. Penn State, what the hell are you made of? Snap out of it, you buffoons, you fools, you goblins. Tired of you guys. Play like a team. Tired of it. Win today or I'm done. Adios, everybody. Fire the damn cannons. Have a good one. Penn State, you win or you're done. Tired of it, man. Oh my God. Damn it. Damn it. I'm done here. Go Penn State.
Get out of here.
We'll put it like that. What's it like? I was actually there in attendance in Cleveland for Coe's first career NFL touchdown, which was awesome. And,
Awesome.
It was a great game. You could hear me on camera. I was just screaming, "Say it ain't so, Coe! Say it ain't so!" Sadly, from there, the game kind of went off the rails a little. That was the last high moment of that game, but it was a great game. Overtime loss, fun time.
Yeah.
But how was that moment for you? Seeing the first, whether it was on TV, in person, wherever you were, seeing his first NFL touchdown. How was that?
Well, dude, I mean, we were at home because it was a away game. We don't travel to a lot of the away games because we can get into that later. But, to watch that and to think I wished I was there live. So to have your video was so cool. And just that, man, this is so cool. I mean, that was so cool for us. Catching it from Tom Brady, right? Like, he's got the ball yet. I mean, first NFL touchdown means a lot, right? I mean, as a dad, that's just so cool to see. And it was fun to watch. And, yeah, it didn't have the outcome we wanted, but still the same. What a memory. What a memory to have, right? So,
and honestly,
cool.
those one of the best guests ever, the Buccateers in the house tonight. You guys hear him on Tampa radio all the time. He's one of the best in the business. My favorite personal in the business. That's why I'm elated tonight. Growing up in the Chicago area, you're used to sports radio. That's what gets me through the day. So this man does help get me through the day, I will say, with the Pat and Aaron show at work.